Yeah, man, a whole lot's been going on. That situation is still not totally clear. Still not totally clear. I'm still not really fully understanding everything that's going on. I know they say within the next couple of days that we should get a better understanding of actually what's going on in that situation with the young lady and everything that happened to her. So it's good to see. I'm glad to see that she did manage to find her way back home as well too. So that was definitely that was definitely a good thing to happen. We don't know exactly all what she went through during the time she was missing, but once again, I'm definitely glad that the young lady was able to find her way back home. And that just gets to a bigger issue as well too that's going on in the black community. The number of missing black women and black girls that seem to yearly, whether it's abduction, whether it's human trafficking, whether it's whatever, there's a significant number of black women and black girls that go missing in this country that don't get the media coverage. One thing I can say that surprisingly enough, she actually Carlee Russell actually did manage to actually get a significant amount of coverage. So that was a positive thing, but unfortunately, not enough black women and black girls are getting that coverage as well too. So shout out to everybody coming up in the space. I see I Ashley, what's going on? We're gonna go ahead and get this thing rolling because I'm going to be talking about both of the situations tonight. I'm going to be talking about Carlee Russell, and we're going to be talking about the epidemic of black women missing in this country. Make no mistake about it. It is an actual epidemic that's going on as well too. Like I say, unfortunately, it just doesn't get the media coverage that it so rightfully deserves. And we're gonna touch up on that too in a couple articles. I got that up in the jumbotron. Shout out to Carlos. I see you coming up in here as well too, Carlos. So shout out to you. Shout out to Hellfighter as well too. Glad to see you guys come up in the space. We ain't gonna waste. What was the thumb down for Aunt Live? What was it? Oh, okay. Because I saw a thumb going down. Like, what's the thumb down for? But Beth, how you doing? How you doing? So yeah, man, I ain't gonna waste no time. I want to go ahead and get up in this. Our people, you know how they come up in the spaces. They take their time. So we should get some people start rolling in here shortly. But happy Monday to everybody. I know the weekend goes by too fast, but glad that you guys once again found your way up in the Newstoter Twitter space. As always, you guys know Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we go ahead and we try to put the content and information out there for our people. So shout out to everybody coming up in this space, man. And let me go ahead and touch up on this first article from News One. It says, and it's up in the jumbotron, guys. It says, what happened to Carlee Russell? Missing black woman mysteriously reappears at the 48-hour search. Yeah, it's just mysteriously reappears. A black woman who mysteriously went missing in Alabama in an incident that sparked national media attention and mobilized a statewide search by law enforcement and others has been found safe. To be sure, Kalitha Nicole Carlee Russell actually found her own way back to her family, who had been worried sick about their loved one since the 25-year-old aspiring nurse disappeared late Thursday night from the side of a major highway following reports of a toddler walking alone there. But aside from those few details, little to nothing has been publicly disclosed about Russell's whereabouts after her parents suggested she may have been lured by someone using the toddler as bait. That's crazy as hell to think that somebody could potentially be using a child as bait to go ahead and try to actually rear somebody in and try to get them. But like I said, this whole situation, we really don't know much about, so it's still a developing story. Hopefully, we'll get a little bit more understanding in the next few days and stuff. Hopefully, the investigation is still ongoing. Russell's safe return came hours after the enhanced video surveillance footage from Interstate 459 South and Hoover showed her car pulled over with its hazard signals on as a figure believed to be her exited the vehicle and ultimately disappeared. Speculation ran rampant on social media about an alleged shadowy figure in the footage among fears of Russell falling victim to a human trafficking scheme. Whatever happened to Carlee Russell? Hoover Police Chief Nicholas Durzis was light on details when announcing Russell was alive and safe after arriving at her family's home late Saturday night. WBRC reported she walked up, banged on the door, and that was her, the police chief told reporters. Russell was reportedly dropped off at the home and appeared to be in shock. He said an investigation to what happened to Russell is ongoing. We work with facts He continued with social media. You got so many people that think they know what's taking place right now. We're just very pleased that she's home. The police chief said Russell would eventually be interviewed, but for now, there is release. She was found alive and safe. The first thing is to give Carlee and the family a little time to get back to themselves together. He said, I know it's been a tough experience for them. When we think it's time to sit down and have a conversation with Carlee and try to get to some facts, we'll do that. The police chief emphasized to reporters that the police department is very happy. We wanted her to come home safe and sound, and we'll hope that's what happened here. The investigation portion, we'll get to that. But to me, the main deal is making sure that she got home safe with her family. And I couldn't be more excited. And I hope the community feels the same way. How did Russell go missing? Russell called 911 around 9:30 p.m. Thursday night to report an unaccompanied toddler walking alongside the highway and later told her family that she was going to check on the child herself, police said. But that was the last known contact anybody had with Russell before her return Saturday night. When police responded to the call Thursday night, Russell's red Mercedes was found pulled over on the side of the highway, still idling with the driver's side door open, but no one was there. Neither the toddler nor Russell. Notably, police said Friday there have been no reports of a missing toddler. Russell's parents pointed to a report from a trucker that a car had pulled in front of the Mercedes, possibly impeding its progress and forcing it to the side of the road where it was found. Citing the report, Talitha and Carlos Russell suggested the possibility that the toddler was being used as bait in a nefarious effort to lure their daughter from her car, according to WVTM 13, a local NBC affiliate in Birmingham. Talitha Russell recounted to AL.com what happened at 9:36 p.m. Her mother, Talitha Russell, said her daughter was on the phone with her brother's girlfriend. Carlee pulled over after saying she saw a child that appeared to be 3 or 4 years old. She probably let her guard down, thinking 911 would be there in a second. Mother said, my son's girlfriend heard her asking the child, are you okay? She never heard the child say anything, but then she heard our daughter scream. Talitha Russell said, all you hear on the phone is a background noise from the interstate. Her car door was open. They found her phone on the ground along with her wig and her hat. Her purse was still in the car. Her Apple Watch was in her purse and her AirPods as well. Talitha Russell said a tip was called in from a trucker. He saw a gray car with a tall brown skinned man with khaki shorts on leaning over in the car. Talitha Russell said multiple rewards combined to balloon to $50,000 in the hours before Russell was found. This is a developing story that will be updated with additional details as they become available. Very, very, very frightening story right here. The fact of the matter that they said that the alleged child that was supposed to be out there on the highway, and how does a 3, 4 year old child go walking along in the highway with nobody out there? That in itself is strange. This is just like I say, this is a very strange story. The fact that this child could have been used as bait. There have been no missing reports about this child, anything. People, the family members, they couldn't hear anybody actually speaking as well either. So, nobody heard anybody. They heard no child's voice or anything of that nature. So just a very, very strange story that's going on. I'm not exactly sure exactly what's going on. I'm not entirely sure what's happening as well too. The space is kind of just went. I don't know what happened with the space as well too. Seemed like our people kind of like disappearing. So I don't know exactly what's going on with the space, but hey, we here. Just a very strange situation going on as well too. So shout out to our people that's coming on YouTube as well too. Shout out to the people that's on YouTube. Guys, I don't know, like the space had people in it and all of a sudden people started disappearing. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with our space right now. There's always some funny business going on these Twitter streets as well too. So I have absolutely no idea what's going on, but nonetheless, we're still doing the actual Twitter space. So shout out to you guys. We're talking tonight about the Carlee Russell situation and the epidemic of missing black women as well too. Very, very frightening situation. Very, very frightening situation. Like I say, guys, I don't know exactly what happened. We had people up into space, and then people started disappearing. So I have exactly no idea what's going on, but nonetheless, we will keep the show rolling as always. That's what we do here. So shout out to my people that's coming on YouTube as well too. Shout out to all my people in YouTube land. What's going on with you guys? I hope everything is well. We up in this conversation tonight, so let me go ahead and just touch up on this real quick, guys. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I know you guys have been hearing the reports about the young sister, and I'm just glad that she found her way back home. She was able to make it back home. The issue, I don't know, like how in the world, like I said, when I heard the story, it was saying there was a 3, 4 year old child, toddler out there on the side of a highway. I just thought that was like the craziest thing in the world. I'm like, why would a child that young be out on the side of a highway? But um, the story is really, really, and I wonder what the police know at this point in time because they're not saying much to anybody about it. They're kind of just kind of playing it close, keeping it close to tabs. I guess they don't want to let too many people know or whatever, but uh, just a crazy situation, guys. I don't know what happened. The actual space actually did crash here too. So let me go ahead and try to start this space back up because the space actually did crash. So yeah, I don't know exactly what happened in the space. Let me go ahead and try to get this space back up tonight. Um, we were talking about the Carlee situation, but I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, the space was going, and all of a sudden we just lost. We actually just lost our people. So I'm not exactly sure, guys. Let me go ahead and try to. Yeah, I don't know either. DJ just text me like I don't know. Like the space had people in it, and all of a sudden, like people just start disappearing, bro. Like out the space, like I don't know what the hell happened. We had about 16, 17 people up in the space, and all of a sudden it kicked everyone out. Like oh, what the hell? Like, because it started showing people, and slowly everybody just started leaving. Like boom, 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 boom. So I don't know what the hell happened there. I'm gonna see about trying to start another one back up, man. Give me a second. Let me go ahead and I have no idea what happened with this Twitter thing. Like yee, this is crazy. Yeah, if it updated, my phone's updated, so it don't have anything to do with my phone. My phone, there are no updates that I hadn't got. So yeah, man, this is just another Twitter issue since Elon Musk has taken over. I don't know what the hell. It's just one of those things with Elon Musk. It's because you left. It showed you're gone. No idea why. I looked on here like I have no idea. I didn't go anywhere. And like I say, it was a bunch of people in the space, and then the space just started disappearing. Yeah, I have no idea what happened there. That was unusual. I don't know if I've ever seen that one before, right there. That was unusual. That was really, really unusual. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna start the space up right now. But 1 minute, a bunch of people there, and I just see everybody just disappearing. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, but damn, what in the hell happened? This might be a short space tonight, y'all, because I don't know what's up with this. It was skipping. It was skipping. I don't know. I actually, yeah, that's crazy. I have no idea how the damn thing started skipping. I'm gonna send out the tweets again and try to go ahead and get everybody back up in here. This Twitter is something else, y'all. Something else. But yeah, once again, guys, like I said, we talking about the actual we talking about Carlee Russell and the epidemic of missing black women. Space was going good. People were starting to come up into space, and then all of a sudden, it started looking like a ghost town up here. Like people just started dissing. Uh, Thias, how you doing? I don't know what happened with that. I don't know what's going on. Nightfall, what's going on, Ramon? Like, yeah, the space was going, and all of a sudden, you only on YouTube tonight? No, no, I'm on Twitter too, man. The space, Ramon, the space, just I don't know what the hell. The space crashed. What's up, Viral? What's up? I see you back up here. I don't know, guys. I don't know what happened with the space. Like, yeah, I don't know what happened with the space. All of a sudden, I saw all y'all in here. It was about 15, 16 of y'all in here, and I just started seeing it just faces just started disappearing, just popping off, just leaving one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. King Lion, what's going on? Everybody was up in the space, and then the space just crashed or something. Like y'all just started disappearing. It was like a ghost town around here. So yeah, man, we talking about Carlee. We're talking about the situation going on with Carlee Russell. We're talking about the epidemic of black women, guys. For y'all that wasn't in here, let me go ahead and touch up on this thing with black women and the actual numbers of black women that's missing in this country as well, too. So shout out to everybody. Y'all go ahead and tweet the space out too, man, because y'all know how Twitter does. I don't know what the hell happened there, but I'm gonna go ahead and for those that weren't in the space during the time with the Carlee Russell, I'm gonna go ahead and touch back on that as well, too. Let me go ahead and get to this. This article is from WTKR. It says black women more likely to go missing but receive less news coverage than missing white women. Alexander Young was only 4 years old when his mother Janice Wright disappeared from a Suffolk neighborhood in the fall of 1993. Nearly 30 years later, news coverage of Wright's mysterious and troubling disappearance has not gone beyond a few stories in Hampton Roads. What about my mom? She was somebody too, said Young, the youngest of Wright's four children. I wouldn't want this to happen to anybody else where their loved one goes missing and you hear nothing about it. According to the study, Missing White Women Syndrome, an empirical analysis of race and gender disparities in online news coverage of missing persons, black people were significantly underrepresented in the population of missing persons who receive coverage. Even though the missing people of color make up nearly 40% of all missing person cases, the analysis also found white women were overrepresented in news coverage, accounting for more than half of missing persons coverage when they make up 30% of the missing person cases. Additionally, a News 3 investigates analysis of missing persons comes from the National Crime Information Center revealed while black women and girls make up roughly 7% of the U.S. population, they account for nearly 36% of all missing females in America. If black people go missing at double their occurrence in the actual population, which happens to be the case, there should be double the stories. But in fact, it's opposite, said Kyle Pope, the editor in chief and publisher of Columbia Journalism Review. Last year, Pope and his colleagues launched their Are You Pressworthy initiative to call attention to the news coverage disparity in America. By inputting your age, race, and location, the tool predicts how much news coverage a person will receive based off which cases have made headlines in the past. When you go missing, your case gets more or less coverage, and it correlates directly to race, Pope said. Not one person can name a missing black or brown male or female child that has gone in mainstream media, said Dererica Wilson, the co-founder of Black and Missing Foundation. She didn't get the coverage that I have seen others get that wasn't of color, said Linda Archie, the mother of Catherine Griffin. A Portsmouth woman reported missing 11 years ago. Lord, did somebody put my daughter in the woods? Did animals get to her? Where is she? What could have happened to her? What's at the root of the disparity? The Pew Research Center's analysis of newsroom found 77% of newsroom employees are white. The Center for Policing Equity found local police departments nationwide don't reflect the racial makeup of the communities they serve, with white officers making up nearly 70% of departments across the country. After the intense media coverage of Gabby Petito's disappearance in 2021, News 3 launched the Have You Seen Me series to draw attention to lesser known missing person cases in Hampton Roads. Your station, your work is a good example of how people are looking at this differently, taking it more seriously, said Pope. That's what we're trying to do. I'm really grateful for what you guys are doing, Young said. My goal is national news coverage. You can view missing person cases highlighted in Have You Seen Me series and learn more about Janice White and Catherine Griffin's cases. DJ, I see you trying to come up here, so let me go ahead and get you up here. So yeah, guys, like I said tonight, I don't know what's going on with the actual Twitter Spaces and everything else, but Shout out to our people that's up in the space. Shout out to you guys up in the space. We're talking about the epidemic of missing black women. We're talking about the situation going on with Carlee Russell. Anybody feel free to come on up here and speak as well too. What's up, DJ? I know you was over there in YouTube land. Like I said, I don't know what happened in the actual space either, man. So I don't know. We were here for 1 second, and then everything just went haywire. Haywire. What's up, DJ? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me in the space? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Just let me know that volume and everything is okay, because I'm not exactly sure what's up tonight. Can you guys, if you guys can hear me, okay, I got 100. Okay, so apparently the volume and everything is cool or whatever, guys. We talking about the situation. Apparently, if you're a black woman, you're a black girl, even though you're missing at a higher rate than some of these other people, the amount of media coverage that you're going to get is not going to be a whole lot. It's going to be damn near zero. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is. I don't know if this is human trafficking. I don't know exactly what's going on in this situation. It doesn't seem like they're putting too much effort in trying to find and locate these black women. One good thing about the situation with Carlee Russell is that it did garner national attention. It did garner statewide attention. You did start having people on social media talking about it. So that sister was able to, the situation was able to get out there a lot more frequently. People heard about it. We don't know exactly what this sister went through and the situation that she was going through as well either. DJ, I said, you say your mic is stuck microphone, shaking my head. You want me to drop you down for a second and try to bring you back up? I can do that and see if that might clear your microphone or whatever as well too. So let me go ahead and drop you down. But yes, guys, there's an epidemic of black women that's missing, that's been, who knows, sold as sex slaves, that's been sold overseas, that's been, laying in the morgue or whatever. Just no kind of effort is being put into actually trying to locate these sisters. The situation with Carlee Russell, how in the hell, and I want to understand, and I know the space kind of crashed before, but how do we get to the point where you got somebody, and like I said, this story is still a developing story, but from what we're hearing, somebody has a baby out there. When I heard this, I'm like, how in the hell is a baby out there on the highway walking around? I never heard anything, and I know they said a toddler, but I consider a toddler still a baby. How is a 3 or 4 year old child sitting up here walking around or whatever? Like that, just when I heard that situation, that made absolutely no sense. So is it to the point, and we don't know, so I'm assuming, is it to the point that somebody actually did try to use a child to lure this woman in actually as bait? You're going to use a woman sees a child out there in distress. She goes to try to help this child. The next thing you know, somebody grabs her and sticks her in the vehicle, and she's gone for a day or so. I wonder how this sister actually got away. How was she able to get away? Just the whole situation that, she came back the next day. She knocked on the door. She's back home. I'm at a loss for words exactly what's going on in this situation as well. To DJ seemed like he's having some issues with his he must be having some issues with his actual microphone and everything else. Re-Raw, what's up? I see you up in the space as well too. So shout out to Re-Raw. A Boogie, what's going on with you as well too? So guys, that's where we at tonight. I touched up on the actual Carlee situation, but I'm gonna go ahead and touch up on it for you guys that wasn't in here. Tam Doll says 0 chance that a baby was actually there. Very little chance this woman was actually abducted. This is crazy, bro. Like, this is crazy. Like, and I don't know if she was abducted or not. It just the fact that she was abducted, and then the next day she comes back. Not the next day, but she comes back, and it's just normally when people get abducted like that, nobody just ends up knocking on the door. But the fact of the matter that Tam, even if she wasn't abducted, we do have a epidemic of black women that are being kidnapped out here at alarming rates, that go missing and everything else, and just not receiving the actual media coverage that they need. So I'm hoping that this sister, everything was in the up and up, and that she, unfortunately somebody did do this or whatever. But at the same time, there are a number of women, black girls that's not getting that media coverage, that's not, that go missing and been missing for years. Not just for a day or two or a week or a month, for years. It's been years that some of these black women have not been seen. Nobody's seen them, and they're not getting the kind of media coverage unfortunate the white women are getting. White women, they go missing and stuff like that, and you see, and you're gonna hear about it, whatever area you're in or whatever. I know nowadays we have the Amber Alerts and everything else going on as well too, but a lot of these sisters are just simply not getting the actual attention from their local outlets that they deserve to be getting as well too. So, uh, Mira, what's going on? You said so many black women and girls have been missing. Yeah, I know that. Absolutely. And that's what the space is about tonight. Like, we just talking about the actual situation. Like I said, and I know the Carlee Russell thing, the police aren't saying anything. I wonder what they may know about it. Um, I think her boyfriend, I believe her boyfriend was saying something to the fact that, she was kidnapped and stuff like that. So, her boyfriend was saying something on Facebook. From what I heard, he was making some comments about the sister being kidnapped and this and that. The police, they're not saying a whole lot about it. You wonder what the police actually know about the situation. Do they consider this a credible crime? The sister, she doesn't seem like she comes from a pretty decent background or whatever, in terms of, she had a Mercedes, and I think they say she's an aspiring nurse or whatever. So, why would she just make this situation up? I don't know. Stranger things have happened. DJ, what's going on? Can you hear me? Yo, you are low. You low as I don't know what. Can you hear me, DJ? I don't know. DJ microphone. Yo, you are really, really, really low. Really low. Yeah, come in and come back out, because you like super low. What's up, Black Majority State? What's up? And I want to get some sisters' opinion about this as well too. And I see the people on YouTube, they coming through. What I mean, even at this situation here, and I don't want to say it's a hoax, y'all, because I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions like that. I don't know what this woman could have possibly went through. So I don't want to say, oh, this is a hoax, this is that, or whatever. But and we have a number of black women up in this space. All of us have black women in our family, black girls, and everything else like that. We hear so much about human trafficking. We hear about all the different things that's going on or whatever. I want to get some opinions, both male and female as well too. So don't be shy, man. Come on up here and grab the microphone. But I want to hear what people think about this situation that's going on, in terms of the number of black women that's missing and everything else. I gave you some stats that I just read, letting you know that the percentage of black women that go compared to white women. Up there in the Virginia area, they had to actually create their own little special series to actually bring it some attention, because, just unfortunately, black women were not getting any kind of attention when it came to the actually missing. I know back in the day, some of us old enough to remember, like, people being on the back of milk cartons and things of that nature as well too. So exactly, how do everybody feel about it? Let me read real quick what Miro saying. And let me read what Doris says real quick. This is some of my YouTube people. Doris says her parents had warned her about that situation. The young women were being abducted, and be careful. Let's wait and see. You're right, Doris. I definitely want to judge on the side of caution. I don't want to say one thing. I don't know exactly what's going on with the situation. The cops seem to have a little idea what's going on. They're not saying much right now either. Very, very strange situation. Very strange situation. I'm gonna just say that much. Amira said it took them 10 to 13 years to find the man, the Long Island serial killer. Mira also says, Doris Morehouse, I appreciate my daughters all day long. They are 25 to 29 single. Yeah, ladies, if you're out there, be careful. Definitely, if you're traveling at nighttime as well, too, go ahead and make sure y'all got that thing handy. If you don't have your license, go ahead and the carry and conceal, go ahead and get that. Keep you some pepper spray, mace as well too. Keep your stun gun up in your purse or whatever. I know women don't rock the purses like they did back in the day. The mamas just had them big ass pocketbooks and stuff like that. But keep everything handy that you can keep on you, sisters. Be safe as possible, because there are a lot of people out here that do have bad intentions for you as well too. So shout out, DJ. I just saw you up in the space. You must have came back in and came back out again. For you guys that missed the actual article, I'm gonna go back over the Carlee article as well too. because a number of y'all weren't in here. Then we started having some technical issues. So I just want to go ahead and catch up on that. I also want to get some people to come up here and speak if they don't mind. From News One, it says, what happened to Carlee Russell? Missing black woman mysteriously reappears after 48-hour search. A black woman who mysteriously went missing in Alabama in an incident that sparked national media attention and mobilized a statewide search by law enforcement and others has been found. To be sure, Carlee Russell actually found her own way back to her family, who had been worried sick about their loved one since the 25-year-old aspiring nurse disappeared late Thursday night from the side of a major highway following reports of a toddler walking alone there. Like I said, the whole thing with the toddler walking alone on the highway just kind of, just been really baffling to me. But aside from those few new details, little or nothing has been publicly disclosed about Russell's whereabouts after her parents suggested she may have been lured by someone using a toddler as bait. Russell's safe return came hours after an enhanced video surveillance footage from Interstate 459 South in Hoover showed her car pull over with its hazard signals on as a figure believed to be her exited the vehicle and ultimately disappeared. Speculation ran rampant on social media about an alleged shadowy figure in the footage amid fears of Russell falling victim to a human trafficking scheme. What happened to Carlee Russell? Hoover Police Chief Nicholas Durzis was light on details when announcing Russell was alive and safe after arriving at her family's home late Saturday night, WBRC reported. She walked up, banged on the door, and that was her, he told the reporters. Russell was reportedly dropped off at home and appeared to be in shock. The police chief said an investigation of what happened to Russell is ongoing. We work with facts, he continued. With social media, you got so many people that think they know what's taking place right now. We're just very pleased that she's home. The police chief said Russell would eventually be interviewed, but for now, there's relief that she was found alive and safe. The first thing is to give Carlee and her family a little time to get themselves back together. He said, I know it's been a tough experience for them. When we think it's time to sit down and have a conversation with Carlee and try to get some facts, we'll do that. Police chief emphasized to reporters that the police department is very happy. We wanted her to come home safe and sound, and we'll hope that's what happened here. The investigation portion, we'll get to that. But to me, the main deal is making sure that she got home safe with her family, and I couldn't be more excited. And I hope the community feels the same way. How did Carlee Russell go missing? Russell called 911 around 9:30 p.m. Thursday night to report an unaccompanied toddler walking alongside the highway and later told her family that she was going to check on the child herself, police said, but that was the last known contact anybody with Russell had before her return Saturday night. When police responded to the call Thursday night, Russell's red Mercedes was found pulled over on the side of the highway, still idling with the driver's side door open, but no one was there, neither the toddler nor Russell. Notably, police said Friday there have been no reports of a missing toddler. Russell parents pointed to a report from a trucker that a car had been pulled in front of the Mercedes, possibly impeding his progress and forcing it to the side of the road where it was found. Citing that report, Talitha and Carlos Russell suggested the possibility that the toddler was being used as bait in a nefarious effort to lure their daughter from her car, according to WVTM 13, a local NBC affiliate based in Birmingham. Talitha Russell recounted to AL.com what happened at 9:36 p.m. Her mother, Talitha Russell, said her daughter was on the phone with her brother's girlfriend. Carlee pulled over after saying she saw a child appeared to be 3 or 4 years old. She probably let her guard down, thinking 911 would be there in a second. Talitha Russell said, my son's girlfriend heard her asking the child, are you okay? She never heard the child say anything, but then she heard our daughter scream. Talitha Russell said, all you hear on the phone is background noise from the interstate. Her car door was open, Talitha said. They found her phone on the ground along with her wig and her hat. Her purse was still in the car. Her Apple Watch was in her purse and her iPods as well. Talitha Russell said a tip was called in from a trucker. He saw a gray car with a tall, brown-skinned man with khaki shorts on leaning over in the car, Talitha Russell said. Multiple rewards combined to balloon to $50,000 an hour before Russell was found. This is a developing story that will be updated with additional details as they become available. So, shout out to all you guys coming up in the space. Like I said, I want to hear people's opinions on this. I want to hear what people think about this. I'm going to read a couple comments off of YouTube as well, too. Any of our people that want to come on up here, let me know how you guys feel about it. The situation, just like I say, the child being 3-4 years old on the highway, that's the part that I'm just really not understanding. But then you have a trucker, you have a situation with a trucker saying that, that they feel that she may have been forced over, somebody impeded her progress. So, there was somebody, apparently a truck out there, that gave a tip as well too. So this situation is just also it's just also strange, to say the least. It's just a really strange situation. I'm hoping that I'm glad that the woman is back home. I'm glad that she's home, and I'm hoping that's the end of the story. But at the same time, like I said, we do have a bigger issue as well too. Whatever happened with this one story is just this one story. There's so many different other women out there, Black women in particular, that are being abducted, that are being kidnapped, that are missing. So we want to get into that tonight as well too. Let me read a couple comments real quick over here as well. Mira says, I feel horrible knowing this. She says, also get that gun. I got my daughter's pepper spray tasers. I have pepper spray, thinking of buying bear spray. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I mean, women definitely got to go ahead and keep it on them. Keep that thing on them just in case. Always have the ability the element of surprise on your hands, ladies. So definitely keep it within distance with you. And my man Nightfall, he says, okay. So Nightfall comes in and he's got a whole different opinion about this. He says, I'm sorry, but something about this story smells like Juicy Smollett. Okay, we know who we talking about. When we talk about Juicy Smollett, we talking about the situation in Chi-Town a few years ago, where the actor, the Empire actor Jussie Smollett did the alleged hoax, or not, it wasn't alleged, but did the hoax by being robbed and beat up or whatever, and the hate crime. And of course, we all come to find out that was actually not true whatsoever. So shout out to you on Nightfall. I know some people are probably thinking that at this situation. I want to go ahead and get a sister the benefit of the doubt. I'm hoping that that's not the case. I'm hoping that this is not. I really don't see the point of why she would go there, but then you never know what people do. People do what they do. So I'm hoping that's not the case in point, because this is a very this is a situation too. Like I say, so many women get abducted yearly, whether it's Black or white. A lot of women get abducted, but so many Black women get abducted. When you look at the actual percentage of what Black women actually make up in this actual country, and the amount of them that's actually been abducted, and the amount of attention that it gets nationally, this is, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, this is one of the few cases nationally that I can really think of that you had that really garnered a lot of national attention. Like, when Black women go missing, you generally don't hear about, you don't really see all of this stuff on TV and everything else. And when Black women go missing, unfortunately, they just go missing. So this is definitely something different right here. DJ, let me know. Can you hear me? Let me see how your sound is this time. You get a chance, let me know. Let me know how the sound is and everything. Like, shout out to all you guys coming up in the space too. Yo, you were like super low. Like,
It is what it is.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what the hell's up with this. It's just, like Professor says, it's just shit, bro. But go ahead, though.
Yeah. Now you coming through loud and clear. So now I can hear you good. So yeah, man. Let me ask you a question, man. What's your opinion about this? Before I get to you, let me read what Nightfall, because Nightfall, he put in the comments over there on YouTube as well. He says, and considering the fact we know about the organ harvesting going on worldwide and the hatred of Black folks, no one cares when we go missing. That's what I'm talking about, man. Like, it's not only do you have the organ harvesting, let's be for real, we still got a worldwide slave trade as well going on. Yes, you have the sex slave trade, but some of these men that go missing as well too, don't be surprised if some of them men in some of these third world countries as well too, out there serving as manual labor as well too. Like, people go missing and get kidnapped. And I know some people, that go missing. Some people just, hey, I've had enough. I just want to go ahead. I'm leaving, this and that. You had people that just went ahead and walked off of their families and just, hey, I just want to be left alone and this and that. And I'm sure drugs play a part in it. I'm sure mental issues play a part in it as well too. But some people end up getting shipped off to other countries. Like, Real talk. Some people get shipped off to other countries and everything else, serving as sex slaves and servants and you name it. So, Nightfall also says, my issue is that she has been home, what, 1.5 days, and she hasn't come forth with her story. Hey, like night. Like I say, of course we don't know. You're right. We don't know exactly what's going on. Like I say, I'm trying to keep an open mind about this because I'm hoping, man, I'm hoping that this ain't no BS right here because this is a serious, this is a serious issue right here. So I'm hoping this ain't no BS that's going on. I'm hoping that maybe this sister, she just so shell shocked that she's just trying to. I mean, that's real talk, man. Imagine being abducted. Like your mind state is all over the place. So maybe this sister, she's been abducted. Her mind state, I'm trying to looking at it from her scenario. Her mind state could just be all over the place. That she's just not there. You don't know what she could have seen, what she's been through. She could be traumatized. So that's the way I'm looking at it. But the thing that just got me is that I'm just having a hard time with a 3 or 4 year old child on the highway. That's the part that really just that's the part. I mean, kids don't toddlers don't walk on highways, man. I'm just and I'm not to say that it has never happened, but it's just that's the part that just totally got my mind right there, just wrapped around. Son of Khalid, I saw you came up. If you want to speak, let me know. You put your hand up. If you want to speak, go ahead. We ain't got hardly nobody up here speaking right now. Anyways, everybody brand new tonight, I guess. So if you got something you want to say or add, go ahead. Feel free.
Hey, what's up, brother Newstoter? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing? How you hanging in there, man?
I'm hanging in there, brother. I'm still above ground, so things are going okay.
Yes, sir.
I just want to speak to the title of the room. When I saw, you know, you know, there was a lot of stuff that was going on, about her being missing. Um, she, she stopped to help a child on the side of the road. But I just wanted to co-sign with what you were saying is that that's not something that's normally seen. And I know that there's a lot of unscrupulous people in this world, man, that will pretty much use whatever they can to try to abduct somebody, to try to get somebody underneath their control. But for someone to use a toddler, man, a little baby, that right there, that's worthy of death, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that someone should be put to death for. And I'm just curious as to why no one else saw it. It was just only her. So I mean, I agree with you. Nobody's trying to say that saying that she's lying, but I'm just don't understand why there's not been more of an investigation into what happened. She found it, she went missing, and now she came home, and that's the end of it. To me, that's a little bit fishy. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, brother.
No problem, man. You know what they're saying, Khalid? They're saying that right now at this point, the police. It seems like they're trying to play it close to the vest. They're saying that like it's still an ongoing investigation, and I'm with you on that. Like if somebody, if they actually using a child as bait, because you got to wonder, like if they're using this an actual child as bait, like how in the hell did you get your hand on this child here for the first place? So that in itself, like you say, what this person deserves, I'm not even gonna say on the actual app. But if you actually using a child to go ahead and to try to lure in women to go ahead and get them as well too, then yeah, what happens to you straight up. And I'm gonna just leave it that way. But I'm trying to, I'm just trying to see it at this point. You're right. Like you would think that, man, if you're driving down the highway and and you see a child and you would think that other people would actually saw the child as well too. And I'm just a 3-4 year old child, man. Just by the grace of God, if a 3-4 year old child is on the highway, just by the grace of God, they don't actually walk out there and get mowed down by a vehicle. That's what I'm thinking as well too. So God would have had to been, protecting this child here not to go into the actual traffic and just be destroyed. So that's the thing I'm thinking about. And like I say, she was if she was kidnapped and she was abducted, you don't know the mind state of what somebody could be going through right now. She may not, she could be so shell shocked that maybe she can't even put her thoughts together, her words together, and everything else. So I'm trying to keep an open mind about that as well too. I believe eventually, the police are going to make a statement. She's going to have to make a statement and say what happened as well too. So to me, it's just so much, man. And like I said, and the sad thing about it, and I look at this case right here. At least this sister, whatever happens, happens. Whatever's said or found out, it's going to be said. But at least this sister actually got the attention that so many other sisters would not get in that same predicament. So many other black women, in the state you live in, the state I live in, the state everybody else lives in here, the cities and stuff like that, you don't see black women getting that attention and black girls getting that kind of attention on a national level that you hear with all of these other cases and stuff like that. So, I think in the back of everybody's mind, everybody's hoping like, hey, no, we definitely don't want it. We're hoping the last thing in the world that this is some kind of hoax or something like that. And I'm sure her family, to have somebody going, a loved one going like that, and you're not knowing exactly how they are, what's happening to them, what's being done to them, that's got to play on the mother and the father's mind, the boyfriend and the siblings and everybody else as well too. So, I'm just, like I said, at this point in time, I'm just trying to keep an open mind. And I know, because there's some crazy people in this world. So you just never know what happens. But if somebody was actually able to use a child as a bait, like I said, we're talking about that, her being traumatized. How traumatized you think a child's got to be that somebody's actually using them like that? And who knows what's been done to that child as well too. How did you get your hands on this child? So there's so many different plots to this story right here, man, that at this point in time, like I say, I am just trying to keep an open mind to this situation. My mindset first and foremost is that the woman, Carlee was supposed to have been kidnapped and abducted. So I have to go ahead and give her the benefit of the doubt on this situation. She says she was kidnapped, she was abducted. The family didn't hear anything about it. Her car's on the side of the road and all her belongings and this and that or whatever, So at this point in time, like I say, I'm just trying to keep an open mind as much as possible because it's just a crazy situation. It's just really unusual. It's really strange. And I'm just, I'm hoping for the best. That's pretty much all I'm saying. I'm hoping for the best, and I'm hoping that it's over with or whatever. But at the same time, I want this topic to actually bring some light and some attention to the sisters that's out there. You got women, you got black women, black girls that haven't been seen for 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, a year, 15 years, 20 years. The case I was reading, the situation I was reading about, dude ain't seen his mama since 1993. Okay. You don't know what happened to him. You don't know if they, like they say, was attacked by animals, buried alive. You don't know exactly what happened. But this situation here, we needed to shed light on this situation right here, on this right here, the human trafficking, the kidnapping, the missing, and everything else. It needs to bring some attention to it. So on that hand, and I hate for anything bad like this to happen or whatever, but sometimes you just need light shed on this situation. And it's just, like I say, at this point in time, I'm still baffled by all of what I'm hearing or whatever. I don't know. I don't want to go ahead and assume anything at this point in time. I'm trying to keep an open mind, and at this point in time, I'm signed for what she says or whatever, until it can be proven otherwise, because you don't want to go ahead and, like I said, you don't know what she went through, and you don't want to sit there and say something, whatever. But, it's just a difficult situation. It's a strange situation. Let me read real quick what Muriel said on YouTube. She says, "Look at that girl who was kidnapped by a white supremacist, chained in the basement, repeatedly raped. She finally escaped, went to the neighbor naked, was able to tell the police he killed other black women. She also said, a regular looking white man with a 5-year-old and a woman in his basement killed and chained, but the white people kept saying they ran away." She says, Miriam also said, "That woman is not ready to speak. I hope they collect the DNA. It's happened." Miriam, you're right. At this point in time, and we heard about that situation as well too. So at this point in time, like I said, I don't know if she's been tested for that rape kit, anything like that, DNA and all of that. So I don't really know exactly. This is just a hard this is just a hard story to really talk about. Knife also, you had a 14-year-old girl who got away in Philly. Like, yeah, it's just man, it's a bunch of women out there, women and girls out there, black women and girls. Like I said, they're just not getting the actual attention that they deserve with this situation going on. Like I said, there's an epidemic of it there, and nobody really cares because they are black women and black girls. So and I hear people say people of color and this and that or whatever. And truth be told, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, whatever, I don't want to see anybody kidnapped or out there missing or whatever. But I just, like I said, I know the sisters are not getting the actual attention when it comes to this situation as well, too. So, um, DJ, you still there? Let me see if DJ's still there. And y'all, if y'all want to speak, come on up here and speak, man. We're gonna only keep the space open as long as you guys are actually interested in the topic. Like I said, I thought this was a topic that needed to be addressed tonight as well, too. It's a serious topic or whatever, so I want to go ahead and cover it as well.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm here, man. Like I said, it's hard to even comment on the situation because it's like ain't no details there. So it's like only thing I can say is, man, I don't really even know because, like I said, it ain't no details there. But if they, the Apple Watch was found in the car, all this other stuff, like I don't know, man. It sounds like she more or less ran away from home, man. I'm gonna just say that, bro.
Well, let me real quick.
Witness what I was saying. So thank you.
Yeah, let me read this comment that Monty put here on. And Monty also dropped a comment on Twitter. He says it may not have been an actual child. She may have been drugged and hallucinating. She could have been wandering around all this time until whatever wore off. Let me read this comment real quick that Nightfall got on. And like I say, at this point, guys, I don't know. Like I say, that's the only thing I can say. I don't really know what happened. Nightfall says, I'm not saying I don't believe her. Just the story sounds too fantastic. Yes, like I said, the thing with the story that got me is like when I started hearing about the actual child and just a 3-4-year-old child out there, toddler, whatever. Nobody on the phone actually heard the child make any noises or sounds or words or talk anything like that. And next thing they know, they heard the actual woman. They heard Carlee scream. So I don't know. Like I said, I just find it hard to just. And I know a lot of you that have kids and stuff like that too. You got little cousins or siblings or whatever. I know a lot of us just find it hard to believe that a 3 or 4-year-old will be. I just find it hard to believe that a 3-4-year-old be walking on I-95 by themselves, at nighttime. And, I just, like I said, I want to go ahead and give it the benefit of the doubt. Go ahead, DJ.
No, I was gonna say, man, not necessarily, man. I see reports all the time where little kids just walking around by themselves, white or black. You know what I'm saying? So I know that's like a culture shock, like to be a kid, walking around, especially on the highway. But you'll be surprised. A lot of these parents are on fucking heroin, dope. They not watching their kids. Or what about this one black woman who wound up going on like a cruise for like 2 months or some shit? Left her kid at home with just like a pack of noodles and shit and some sardines and shit. Came back, they locked her ass up. That's child endangerment, man. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with a lot of these just parents in general. You know what I mean? Leaving their kids in hot cars or leaving their kids with some other person, and then the other person wound up harming the kid. That happens every day. But to go back to about the drug induced thing, I don't know, man. Repeat that again or whatever you said. That she could have been drug induced.
You saw the comment that Monty left. This is what he said. He said, he's saying that it may not, she's saying that it was a 3-4-year-old child out there in the highway, but this is his comment. He says it may not have been an actual child. She may have been drugged and hallucinating. She could have been wandering all around this time until whatever wore off. This is what Monty said. Now, this was just his opinion that
Right. No, it's all good. When you say drugged, that means somebody gave it to her, or she was on drugs, which I doubt that because she's in a medical profession. Not to say doctors don't do drugs or nurses don't do drugs though, but she don't seem like the type of person that get high to me. You know what I mean? Or even smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? Those the folks like that are easy to spot. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. She didn't go out anywhere that night from what we're hearing. She was just on her way home. So, maybe somebody could have kidnapped her and drugged her, and then, I don't even know, bro. It's like, I don't know, kind of blabbing at this point because it's like, there's just no evidence. But another thing I will say, though, is, I'm not sure if she was living at home with her family, but this happens a lot, too. We had this situation up here in East Orange, New Jersey, where your young sister ran away. She was missing for about a week or two. Same mass media campaign by black people. Thanks to the white media. You know what I'm saying? This is why we need our own our own black media, y'all, because these folks will not report a missing black woman or a missing black child or a missing black male or whatever the case be. So this one sister actually ran away from home because I kind of found out her stepfather was abusing her. But the mother knew that. So they turned around after they found her, like, I think in New York somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Found her, the case be. And the process was getting a separation, divorce or whatever from the stepfather or whatever it was. But East Orange police wound up locking up both the jokers. They locked the mother up and had the stepfather, who was I think he a North cop. They arrested him, you know what I mean, for endangerment of a child. So I wonder if this could be somewhat of a situation where, I don't know, maybe she living at home with her mother and she got some weird knack at it. You know what I'm saying? This shit go, man.
Yeah, but she's like 25 though. You talking about, because she's an aspiring nurse. I mean, you talk about Carlee?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You might be 25. That don't mean you can't live at home. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, I get that, but I mean, it seemed like, from what, and of course, we just looking at pictures and everything else or whatever. I mean, really nice looking girl, nice looking young lady, aspiring nurse. She, from her car was a Mercedes, and of course, we know you can have an older Mercedes as well too. So I'm assuming that she's doing pretty decent for herself or whatever. Like you said, you can live at home. I mean, I know plenty of people that lived at home and stuff like that. So that's not the issue. But I get back to what you were saying about the kid, and you're right. They're kids and stuff, little kids and stuff that's out there on the street that's roughing it and everything else. The thing that just threw me was, like I said, like you talking about like a 3-4-year-old toddler on a highway though. That's the part that just kind of was just, that was just kind of unnerving somewhat. To think that a 3-4-year-old toddler be walking up and down the highway is just, to me, it's just, it's crazy.
No. I feel what you're saying on that. And then just to go back to the, she did say she got a boyfriend. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, man. But we already know that, our folks go missing every day and they don't get reported on. They don't get the white Amber Alert help. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I'll be tagging Black Girl Laws, hashtag Black Girl Laws. You know what I mean? What else I'll be tagging? Wu-Tang for the kids. So when our folks go missing, hit them hashtags like that. Black Girl Laws, Black Boy Laws. You know what I'm saying? Wu-Tang for the kids. You know what I mean? Stuff. You start tagging those stuff. We got to make our own tags, those hashtags. So there you go.
Well, that's why it's so important too, man, to go ahead and put this out there, because like we're saying, that in Hampton, Virginia, they had to actually create their own little series to actually talk about this. So, it's not being talked about enough or whatever. And like I said, we know people go missing for all kind of different reasons. Some people just may be like, hey, you know what? I've had enough. I just want to go ahead and leave. And, I don't want anybody to know their whereabouts. But in most cases, people that go missing like that, if they're not on drugs and they don't have mental issues, and more than likely they've been abducted. So that, I just feel a need that we need to go ahead and keep this up in the news as much as possible or whatever. This situation with Carlee Russell, I would expect some clarity in the next couple of weeks. Really, I really expect the police to say something coming up soon. And if she hasn't given a statement, because I think they're gonna have to get some kind of statement from her. But I don't know. I mean, do they have to? For the simple fact, it's not like she filed a police report herself. Her family actually was like, hey, our daughter's missing and this and that or whatever. So it's not like she filed a police report in herself. So how exactly, I know we're all expecting her to go ahead and kind of give a statement, let her know what happened and this and that or whatever, but it's not really mandatory though, is it?
We'll say that again. What's not mandatory?
It's not mandatory that she ever really gives a statement to the police though, is it?
No. She's the victim or whatever. But if it comes out that it's, I guess, a falsified, police call, manhunt, looking for a missing person, the police gonna get their own report on it regardless, though. You know what I mean? So, if they don't have, it's not mandatory that a victim has to give a statement in the count.
Yeah, I was just checking because it's like it's not like she filed a report. It was her family thinking she's missing or whatever. So you're right. Like if the police find out that it's a hoax, they're gonna publicly make a statement about it as well too. But I, for the simple fact, like I say, I don't know exactly her mindset, what she might have went through, and it seemed like they were saying that she appeared to be in shock. Like when she's appeared to be in shock or whatever, and I just, people, you can go through something so traumatic that you're in shock that you've had people not speak for a long time and all kind of people, just physical functions in your body just actually shut down from the actual shock and being traumatized about certain things that took place as well too. So, like I said, this situation here, man, this is gonna be definitely one. I'm gonna get to you real quick, reroute. Let me read this real quick on YouTube. Nice Fall says, what if this story is to be believed? Where are Ben Crump and Lee Merritt to be all up in the cameras making statements? Well, give it some time, if I give it some time. That's the only thing I can say about that. But I know, Ben Crump and them, they pretty much handle the actual silver suit type things as well too. So I don't know if this would be a kidnapping. I don't know if they could actually as much they would actually do about this as well. But go ahead, Rerod. You got it. How you doing tonight?
Hey, Newstoter, I'm good. How's the fam?
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
I wanted to just jump there. So I've been keeping up on this whole thing too, and I did read in an article where her family said there was a $25,000 reward if she was found and brought home. Um, And also, I just wanted to touch into the part where you guys were talking about the child, right? The child being out there. Nobody else wants to see the child. And that is weird, but some people just don't care, Like I seen a post the other day, there was a stroller. Somebody said, I don't got time for this tonight. Some people just aren't going to do it, Something pulled at her heartstrings, but I think that she did pull over for a child. But maybe this child was being trafficked too. Maybe this child doesn't have any parents. They're not going to use a child from the community. They're going to use a child that's already being trafficked, so that no one's probably looking for that child. And I'd also like to tap into the shock value too. Yes, absolutely. She's probably in shock. Who knows what she went through? You know what I mean? And when someone is shocked like that, you can't just talk to them. You kind of have to let them sit with it so they can get it all together. Because sitting down and interrogating someone who's got a mental block because they've been hurt, it's just really not going to work out, in your favor. The person might say things. The person might not be able to recollect things properly or whatever. So I do get that they're giving her some time. But this girl came from a predominant family. I seen her brother talking about it, clean, shaped up. I seen her boyfriend be clean, he shaped up. She got a Mercedes. All of her stuff was in the car because I think they just stole her. I mean, even if I was gonna run away, say I just said F it and I don't want to be around, I'm taking something, okay? And my purse is not gonna still be in that car. My phone is not gonna still be in that. All of my belongings is what makes me be is not still going to be in that car because even if I do run away, I'm still gonna be me. You can just change your phone number. You don't have to replace your phone. And I just want to say, I really think that we as a community need to stop doing this. All right, let's wait for the information to come out because this is why they're going to be like, oh, we're never going to look for another black girl again. I would hate for this to be a hoax. But if it is, this is not a reason for us to stop caring about the 100 million. Yes, I said 100 million black women who are missing currently. It's a book about it. Read it. There's 100 million women missing currently. So this is a real thing. Yeah, you might get some, people who want to play around or whatever, do a hoax, but I, in my heart, I don't feel like this is that. Like I said, her family, they're a very predominant family. They seem to be active churchgoers. It's not giving that she would have left her family and her husband, who I might add, was not bad looking at all. Nothing wasn't bad looking either. So they come from a really nice looking family. You know what I mean? They had $25,000 to put up for a reward for her. Nah, I think the kidnappers seen that reward and they seen all this stuff going on and they kicked her ass out. They said, listen, she's more than what she's worth. Or shit, maybe they got the reward and said, shit, I'll just take the $25,000 and she can go. I don't know. That's my opinion. Thank you.
All right, and actually, that reward went up. It ballooned up to $50,000 from that article I read from News One. So the actual reward, it actually ballooned all the way up to $50,000. And we're not, and Rerod, we're not saying, and I'm not saying that it's a hoax. I said at this point, I said that I'm gonna go ahead and if she's saying that she went through this, I'm gonna go ahead until proven otherwise. I'm gonna go ahead and support it. Like I say, I believe, like you said, she comes from a good family. She's riding around, like I said, in a Mercedes, and that's not to say material things alone mean that people are happy and everything else as well too. But the child thing is what really just really, and it's not that kids can't roam around on the streets and everything else. Just the fact that we all know how dangerous highways are, and just to have a young child, 3-4 years old, out there on the highway is just something that just really confuses me a lot on this story as well too. So that's the part to me that I'm just having a hard time putting my just wrapping my mind around just why would a young 3-4 year old child, and like you said, we know you got all kind of different parents out there, people who don't care and this and that or whatever. And like I said, that child himself, if they talk about this child was used as bait, then this child himself is in danger, him or her or whatever. The child's in danger themselves. So I definitely don't want to go ahead and try to short side what exactly what's going on, because that's why we created the space as well too. Because like you said, you got millions of black women and girls that's missing out there in the world as well too. So I don't know the exact number. I know you said 100 million. Are you talking about 100 million globally, worldwide? Rerun?
Yeah, globally, there's 100 million black women missing.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't doubt that. If you were to take on all of the continents and everything else like that, I don't know the actual number, but I'm sure it's got to be up there. So I'll just say that much real quick. Let me go ahead and get to Professor. Professor, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? What's up? Peace, power, reparation to everybody in the space tonight. What up now? And this is big news. Of course, this has been the big news story here in Alabama for the last few days, and a lot of people are throwing up all kinds of theories about what's going on with this. Some are saying that the boyfriend might be involved. Boyfriend, of course, denied today that he was not involved in anything, or he denied that he's not involved in any type of wrongdoing. I don't know what to make of the story. I'm just going to sit back and just try to see what they come up with, because they're still investigating, and the police is still investigating this case. It's almost sounding kind of like the Jussie Smollett case, almost. I mean, it really does. I hate to say it like that, but it's kind of leading into that direction. But one thing you want to do, you want to believe your people. And but it's just so interesting how this young lady was gone for 2 days, and then she comes back around 10:45 late at night. So you just wonder, where did the young lady go? And was this set up? Was this planned to generate a high rated story where somebody could make a profit or somebody could make money? it's a lot of questions about it, y'all. I mean, and I know all of you probably have some of the same questions that I have. I'm sure you do. You might say, hey, this is just coincidental. But you got to be thinking in the back of your mind, this is a made-up story. On the other hand, y'all, in Alabama, we've been having these high heat advisories. And this heat is making people see shit. So she might have saw a baby because the heat is just fucking her mind up. I don't know. This shit down here it's killing folks down here. This heat has been unbearable. Okay? So she might have saw a baby, but the heat made her see a baby. I don't know. I thought I saw a damn monkey out here in front of my house yesterday. That's how hot it's been, okay? And when I say monkey, I'm talking about like King Kong, okay? I thought that's what I saw out here. So I'm just telling you, is it this heat, or is these damn drugs out here, these pills, these people popping, because people popping pills like crazy down here, or they shooting up meth, or whatever they do with meth. I don't know what they do with meth. I guess they pop it, or they shoot it up through a needle or something. I don't know what these folks are doing out here. But y'all, I want y'all to just sit back, pay attention to the story. The police are still trying to get the pieces of this puzzle together, and then when they do tell you what's happening, you might not believe them, because a lot of them involved in crooked ass shit too. It's a lot of shit going on down in Alabama, y'all. It's just crazy as hell. Because we along with this story, we just had a story right here, Montgomery, Alabama, where an 8-year-old went out and carjacked somebody. See, that's been in the story too down here. See, that none of this shit is making sense. An 8-year-old carjacked somebody down here and drove off in a car, and then picked up 2 grown-ups on the way, and was driving this car with the 2 grown-ups in. See, this is the type of shit that's going on down here, y'all. I'm telling you right now, I think Alabama about to fall off into the damn ocean, man. That's how crazy it's been down here. But anyway, I'm laying right there so I can listen to the rest of the family go in.
All right, thank you, Professor. And I didn't know that they was talking about trying to make the boyfriend into an actual because I think the boyfriend, an article I read, he was saying that that he felt that she had been kidnapped and everything else as well too. So I didn't know anything about them trying to actually make the boyfriend into an actual person
of interest.
Yeah. So that
it's the white folks down here, white media is driving that narrative. Now they trying to say, well, maybe he was involved in doing something. And, anything to try to blame a black man, they'll do that shit. But then again, these folks really don't. When it comes to black people, man, you got to think about where we are, y'all. We're in Alabama. A lot of times, whenever something's going on with us, they'll try to make it minuscule, or they'll try to say we made it up, or whatever. Anything they can to downplay whatever our issues are, they'll do it here. So I hope this sister didn't make up this story, because see what these white racist people would do. And I know Sister Rewald just made a great point on this. They would now use this one story, if it is made up, they'll use it against other black women. Other black women, they go missing, they be like, well, you don't need to pay no attention to them. Shit, they be making up shit. But see, you got white people out here that be making up shit, and we don't holler none of that shit about, well, they be making up shit. So let's not look for any more damn white women, okay? And there been plenty of white women that lie. They lie about every goddamn thing. But anyway.
Yeah, you had a white woman she, one time made up a story because she was with her lover. I mean, so like so I mean that she had been abducted and this and that or whatever and kidnapped, and she was hanging out with her lover. So no, we're not gonna sit up there and simply too also like we asking a question or whatever is not downing somebody as well too. So nobody, we're not downing a woman or anything like that, because like I said, we don't know exactly what happened. She says she was kidnapped, so I'm going to definitely give her the benefit of the doubt. But like I said, I just the whole thing about the child that's a situation that just kind of a 3 4 year old child out there on the highway just is something that just kind of kind of throws me a little bit. But you're right, Professor. A bunch of people have made up stuff and made up lies and stuff about being abducted and kidnapped and this and that or whatever, and we know like that ain't true. So yeah, so we'll definitely, like I say, this story. I think this story within the next couple weeks, I think we'll get a little bit more clarity on it. It was definitely it was definitely in the media the way it should be. Like I said, because so many different black women are kidnapped or abducted or missing, and you never ever ever hear anything about it. So I was glad that this sister, her story was actually shared, and I'm hoping for the best. I definitely don't want to hear any crazy stuff behind it. So I'm just hoping for the best for the whole thing. Trance is it's beautiful. Go ahead, Trance. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Okay. Hello. Hi, Newstoter, and thank you for letting me talk in space. And since we're on the topic, I think that it's important that I bring up something, even though it is related to human trafficking, and I just think that more awareness needs to be spread. People were talking about international human trafficking. I think it was Miss Rira, I think, but there's a lot of transnational human trafficking which the South African government, the ANC, engages in, and there's a one lady called Miss Patricia Mashale. I put in the comment section, and they tried to kill her and tried to leave South Africa because the government, the ANC, kept trying to kill her. Cyril Ramaphosa, Vicky Taylor, and and I think that more people need to become aware of stuff that goes on in the entire sub-Saharan Africa, and as well as human trafficking, the organ harvesting as well, and child labor, and and I just want to say that, and it's really scary out here, like just being a woman or anything like that, like, or a child, and it's just really scary, and just everybody please be safe, and I just want to say that, and otherwise, thank you.
Hey, wait now. Let me say this: what you could do, trans beautiful, is transform back into a man, so you can help protect these women out here.
All right, Professor, real quick, let's not get into the personal insults. Let's not get into the personal insults. When we talking about an important topic, let the people come up here. I've said that before. Let the people come up here. Don't insult people. Let them talk. And let's go ahead and move it around the room. So let's not do that. Truth be black. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
You see, I tried to be polite, and now you are starting with me. Like, really.
Go ahead, Truth.
Peace to everybody. Thanks to the Newstoter, anti-black professor, and the rest of the gang. I want to kind of talk about a couple of things, just because, there were a lot of different issues that were actually going on way before this even happened. The one thing I did like about this particular situation was the fact that black media and everybody got heavily involved in trying to find her. And most importantly, they just really put the word out there, because as we all kind of all saw, in real media, I guess the media's reporting everything as it wasn't even being talked about. I mean, they just started talking about what was going on with her like today, but over the weekend or when she started becoming missing. Nobody was talking about it, so I was really glad to see that black media and everybody was on top of this. But the one thing that I really thought I kind of saw that's kind of crazy about the whole situation is we start looking at it, how she became missing, how she showed up back at the house, jail. We talked about this missing child, but also to the point, I think when you're actually walking back into a location, just out of the blue. I mean, there's not too many positive things we can kind of give into this particular scenario. I mean, I don't think to the point anything. This is what's going to turn out how we actually want it to turn out. But I think at the same time, I think the most positive thing that I've seen so far from this situation is just bringing about awareness, but most of all, how everybody came together And despite all the rest of the big media and everything, that black media did come together and actually talk about this as an issue and make sure the report she was actually found. But also, before I go to everything, especially talking about the boyfriend, the family. I mean, it's like basic protocol we talk about. Everybody in the family is put as being a suspect. They didn't really start talking about the actual boyfriend until I guess like when she was actually found. But like I said before, the best thing about all this that's happening right now is that we're actually talking about it and it was actually bringing awareness.
All right. Thank you, Truth. Let me read a comment real quick on YouTube. Some comments. Nightfall says, Newstoter, whatever happened to the investigation into the black woman that was killed in Mexico while she wasn't kidnapped? She was murdered, and the story just died down with no real answers. They decided, Nightfall, not to bring any charges against any of those people that was with her. So I remember they pretty much decided, hey, not to bring any charges against any of the folks that was with her. So yeah, that nothing happened whatsoever from that as well. Miro says, yes, nothing done in those murders, but when that white girl died in Aruba, they were all over that story. Nightfall says, I agree. The MSM will always make white women a priority, but that's why we ask questions and need folks to stop thinking emotionally when we ask exactly where did they do that at. So yeah, just getting back to the one in Mexico. Who was that? What was her name? Oh Jesus, because we did a space on her. Lord, so many stories. Sharika. I cannot think. Shaquella Robinson. Yeah, nothing happened with Shaquella Robinson whatsoever, y'all. So yeah, even though the people, her friends, went down there and the girl ended up dying, they started talking about, oh, this happened, that happened, or whatever. Nothing whatsoever happened to the people as well, too. So yeah, that is what it is, man. Go ahead, DJ, you got it.
Yeah, just to piggyback on what Nightfall said. So none of our folks should ever go to Mexico, ever. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget the 4 black people that went down there, for vacation and get some medical procedures done. 2 of them didn't make it back, so there you go on that too. So something in the water in Mexico. And obviously, let's talk about the black women that's over in one black woman that's in Dubai right now, who's stuck over there and can't get back home because she yelled at some rental car driver dude, and they say you can't be yelling at people in the country. Man, if y'all get the hell up out of here, so don't pop up in Dubai, don't pop up in Mexico, don't go to none of these anti-black places. And I know y'all see this little Arab dude that's from Dubai too, talking about y'all black women. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better go get that knack of the business. You know what I'm saying? Stuck in the matrix. But yeah, share the room out, y'all. Hit the Jumbotron or whatever the case may be. Matter of fact, I ain't even hit the Jumbotron right now. Hit the chat right here for sure. You know what I mean? Hit the chat right here for sure.
Yeah. I got stuck for a second, but yeah, I'm back. But yeah, man, you're right. Leave Mexico and leave some of these other places alone as well. Like the Dominican Republic is also a no-no as well, too, man. But like he said, and like True said, this is something too that it is good that you have an expanding black media. You've always had a black media, but you have a different type of black media now with social media and everything as well, too. So you can go ahead and keep these type of topics going and keep these issues going as well, too. You go ahead and put them out there. So that's exactly that. You're right, Truth. That was definitely needed. And like I said, more attention is actually needed to this as well, too. Because like I said, you have a bunch of women and girls, black women and girls going missing. Rira said that, I don't know the actual numbers, but she said something like 100 million. And if that is 100 million, man, that is a boatload. That is a boatload. So I don't know the actual number of black women and girls missing in the world. But that, if you're talking about 100 million, man, you're really talking about something as well, too. So shout out to everybody who came up in the space tonight. We were having some technical issues, guys. And, we just went ahead and had to start this thing back up as well, too. So we were having some technical issues and we're able to get things going back as well too. We're not going to keep the space going too much longer. We're going to let anybody that wants to come up and speak. I know our people kind of we're kind of like not too many of you guys came up last time and wanted to speak about this topic or whatever. And like I said, we're still trying to figure it out as well too. We don't know. Like I say, I'm just hoping the best for the sister. She could be in shock. We don't know exactly what happened. I'm hoping that it's just just one of those issues, and that she's back home and she's safe and she's sound, and you can put this thing behind you. I'm definitely hoping. And Professor, you down in Alabama, like you say, I can imagine the actual amount of chatter you're hearing down there from people. Everybody is a detective. Everybody has a theory about what went on. They this and that. They feel a certain way. Sometimes you just got to go ahead and let the process play out as well too. Like I said, I just everything that she had to put in that car, valuables and stuff like that. All of that stuff was left. Um, so that was the cars on the side of the road. Everything's on the side of the road. I just it's just interesting too that that when she did return home, she walked, she knocked on the door. They say she's been in a state of shock, and we just we'll just find out more as this thing goes along as well too. Within the next in the next few days or whatever, we'll hear more and more people talking about it as well too. So just definitely and like I told the ladies before, guys, just be as safe as possible out here. Keep something on you, whether it's mace or it's whatever. It's a stun gun. If you don't have your actual conceal, go ahead and keep something on you, ladies. Definitely stay safe as much as possible. Go ahead, Truth. You got it.
The last thing I was going to add in was that the one thing I thought was kind of odd was when the mother talked about how she called up her sister-in-law, and then she was on the phone with her sister-in-law when she heard her actually scream like she was trying to talk to the child, something happened to her. I thought, like, you're in that kind of situation, and you got a large family, you got a boyfriend, and but why would you call the least person out of your actual people? Why would you call your sister-in-law versus your family members, your boyfriend? So that's what I kind of thought. It was kind of odd. Wondering how this kind of transpired, but a lot of things just weren't adding up. So I thought it was like a key point.
Well, I'll say this right here. When a situation comes in, and like if she saw that child out there, the first call shouldn't even been in the family. The first call, go ahead and call the police. Like, yo, I see a 3-4-year-old child out here walking around on the highway. We need to get some help for this child as soon as possible, whatever. So don't even call your family members on that. Go ahead and call and let the police know that, hey, there's a child. You got to worry about child endangerment. You got to worry about this child being mowed down by a semi-automatic truck or something, a vehicle. We got to worry about this child's safety and whatnot. So just go ahead and call the police and let them know that, hey, there's a child out here on Highway 459 or whichever highway she was. We need immediate help right now. We need to get this child some help. We need to get this child up out of here as quick as possible. So go ahead. If you have a situation like that, just go ahead and call the police and tell them exactly your location, what you in, and exactly what's going on. And that definitely, I think would probably definitely be a better thing to go ahead and do. Professor, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes, Todd. Man, I tell you, this is a very good topic, because this is also a situation, a topic that we need to. Oh yeah, thank you for the thumbs down there, Transformer. Yeah, that Transformer gave me a thumbs down, everybody. But anyway, just because I say you need to be a man and protect black women, that's why you give me a thumbs down. But anyway, this is a good topic, everybody, because this is one that we share with our lady friends, wives, sisters, mothers. Because I talk to the women in my life all the time about carrying something, and preferably a gun. If it's just a small little baby gun, whatever, I really want them to carry something, and of course, show them how to operate it the way that they need to be able to use it against somebody who's trying to attack them. Now, I say to every man in this space, make sure you talk to the women in your life about these issues, because this is only getting worse. Trafficking is a major concern right now. It has been for a long time, and for the longest, the media really was not covering this. So we need to be talking to our loved ones about this because it's getting worse. Uh, you got I think what they call a trafficking connection all across the country that's going from state to state that's doing this type of stuff where they'll just pick somebody up off the streets and they're gone. You see, so particularly for the women in your family, guys, share what you can with them. Teach them how to work the guns. Tell them to keep some mace on them. Show them some self-defense protection moves. These are the things that we can do to help the women in our lives, because we want to make sure that Black women are safe. And of course, I got this transformer continuing to send me thumbs down because he don't like the fact that I'm saying that we supposed to protect our women, Black women. Sorry, trans, we can't protect you, transformer, or ones that want to pretend to be women. We're going to protect the women, okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right, I'm going to land my plane right there.
All righty. See if there's anybody else that wants to speak. Like I say, guys, y'all may see we had a space earlier. It was 20 minutes. It crashed, so we went ahead and had to start this thing up back here as well too. So shout out to all you guys coming up in the space as well too. It's a number of you guys in there. Like I said, we had a space going. It ended up crashing. So it is what it is, guys. For those that can support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, that's $Newstoter, Newstoter. If you do not have Cash App, we have the Venmo and PayPal up in the Jumbotron. I'm going to go ahead and try to real quick put the actual YouTube channel, because all of that stuff was up in the other space. But like I said, it crashed. So definitely kind of just threw off the space a little bit tonight as well, guys. But I was definitely hoping to hear from some of our sisters as well, too. We heard from Rera. She came up here. So she was definitely she graciously stated her opinion, and definitely was glad to have her up here. But I definitely want to hear from a couple other sisters as well too, and just get your idea, your opinion on the actual not only the situation with Carlee Russell, but the actual what's going on in America as well with the entire missing Black women, the epidemic, because it is an epidemic of missing Black women in this country going on as well too. So I definitely want to go ahead and get your opinion and your thoughts on that as well too, because it does not get the actual deserved media coverage that it sorely needs. And we're trying to go ahead and change that as much as possible, guys. We're trying to go ahead and get it out there as much as we can. Luckily, we have a we have social media now. Say what you want to the ups and downs of social media, but you have a lot more people on here. So even though you have your media outlets and everything else, but simple people such as us in the spaces can make things happen as well too. So shout out on that as well. I see Miss Giselle's coming up in the spot as well. So let me go ahead and get her up here. Go ahead, Miss Giselle.
Yeah, sorry, I was in another space, and I don't want to be up here too long because I was on that stage for a long time. But I'm glad you hosted this space. One thing that I wanted to get up here and say, the reason why they highlighted this case, I kind of fell for it, and I usually kind of like send stuff in advance, but it's the reason why they highlighted this case. We've had tons of missing Black American women all over the country, and we've been complaining. We're like, you're not highlighting our cases. So we got to keep an eye out on this, because this was an intentional thing. This was a farce. They want to create the narrative that every time they highlight a Black woman who is missing, the whole reason why they do that is because like, we don't want to highlight it because every time, look what happened. This person faked their the missing. The reason why they did that is because that they're building up like percentages, because they talk about their data all day long. So them looking at their data, like 50% of the ones that we can air 90% of the missing Black American women that's missing that we air, most of the time y'all staging it yourself. And I think those other women are staged too, to brush us off. It is a real thing of women going missing, especially if you catch it Ubers and stuff like that. They have this new thing, probably not really new, but these people actually spray stuff in the car. When you get in these cars, you need to make sure you check the door, open the door up. When you get in, make sure you got window control and always have that window down to a point where you can get your arm out of it. Because even if they try to roll up the windows, today's windows, because of safety purposes, if your arm is in it, they can't pull it all the way up. And you still have the ability to pull it down. But when you're in those confined spaces with these people who, a lot of these foreign, and it's a lot of foreigners that's doing it. When you're in these tight places, what they do, they'll, because this is something that happened to somebody that I know. And just trust me, this stuff is for real. They will spray stuff, you will start getting dizzy. The smell of the stuff that they spray is like an ammonia scent. And you won't realize it until you're starting to get dizzy. So you don't want to be reactive and the door won't open and they already got you. Make sure when you're out here driving in these Ubers and stuff, you have your windows down. Make sure that you got other people that can follow your ride because they have that ability down where if you're riding somewhere or just be on the phone with somebody and make sure that they can track where you're going. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I'm telling you, it will save your life and maybe even your kids. The last thing is we gotta know the reason why they shine light on this case. They've been had the camera stuff from when they from off of that street. That woman, you could barely see the video, but she walked to the woods or something like that. But that was it. Nobody drug her to the woods. So that alone was weird because no Black woman runs into the woods. We got to look at this as something that was probably like set up, and it's for whatever the case may be. That's what I really believe. I think this is something more of a cover up and a farce to have us distracted. And she went along because of something she was probably into that she needed to cover up for. They're like, look, this is all we need you to do. And you go here and it'll be good. And she probably wanted to get off or something. That's what I personally believe. Tinfoil hat all day because I don't trust nothing. But the way they move with this case, the fact that it went internationally, the fact that everybody across the country, it was on like major platforms, that alone lets me know that this was a farce because they never highlight our stuff until we scream it out loud. We have missing people right now in Florida, a special needs woman right now in Florida who went missing over a year and nobody has even said anything. But I'll end by saying we just got to stay vigilant and mindful and make sure that we keep how.
You broke up there towards the end, Miss Giselle, but thank you once again for coming up. Let me go ahead and get to we got a new speaker up in. Let me go ahead and get to Dana. Dana, go ahead and unmute your mic. How you doing tonight?
Hey, yeah, so okay. Now when you had created this space earlier, I seen it. Like I was able to, see the reminder, like it never went away. Remember the issue I was telling her I was having?
Yeah.
And then I just finished with my show on YouTube, so I was gonna hop in, and then I saw that it ended like 2 hours. And that's why I asked you that you start again. But this space, I don't see it on my main thing. So I think it's something with YouTube that's glitching. Because now I don't see your space under my main Twitter account. So I wanted to say that this is something's going on with YouTube that they're bugging. Like something, I don't know. But that's it. You're talking about that Carlee Russell. I just hopped in, so I'm just going to mute up and listen. But I just wanted to mention that, like, I can't see it now on my other account, but I could have. I seen it earlier when you was on your first Twitter space.
No, okay. Ain't no telling what's going on with this stuff here. Let me go ahead and get to another new speaker. Is that Jay's Revenge?
Yes.
Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty
pretty good. Make sure I follow the host in your platform.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're very welcome. So I just wanted to say that who Miss Giselle, I think that was her name. I agree with everything that you were saying, and I do. I just kind of feel like when it comes to like sex trafficking and like the whole black community, when it comes to women like us, I don't feel like we're necessarily protected, and I don't feel like the media puts, I don't feel like the media, when it comes to us going missing and stuff like that, I don't feel like the media pays, I feel like they pay us dust. But with this whole Carlee Russell situation, I just honestly just feel like, I don't know, like I just feel like it just sounds weird. Like the story is just not adding up. And I hate to be that one person that just be like, okay, this is a hoax or this isn't real. But when I'm just like, I'm looking at my phone and I'm looking at reports, and the police just reported that there was no evidence that she was even followed to begin with, or that she was even baited, or even baited. So it's just, I honestly just don't know what to believe, because I want to believe that, she was hurt or somebody did something to her, but it's just the whole, I don't know. I just have weird feelings about situations like this, because you want to believe the victim and you don't want to victim shame. But when the police comes out with reports that she was never even followed to begin with, and then you saw like the highway video, like that highway video was very sketchy. And I just hate when people try to convince themselves that they see something when they know that they don't see anything. Like, I just guess people are just so desperate to find answers, or desperate for answers, that they're trying to convince themselves in that video that they actually see something that they don't. So I don't know. I'm just really just left feeling confused by this whole situation. And I don't like feeling like that, because when it comes to black women, or, black women being sex trafficked, and, black women, there's a lot of black women that have gone missing, disappeared. You want to believe these women, but in situations like this that don't make sense, makes a lot of people have doubt in our community. So that's all I just wanted to say.
Okay, thank you. Good to hear from you. Hopefully you'll stop by some of the spaces from time to time again. So definitely glad to have you up in here. Let me go ahead and get to Trance. Is beautiful. Go ahead, Trance.
Hello. Hi. I just want to say thank you for letting me talk again. And Mr. Newstoter, and also thank you for always being really kind to me and very polite to me and everything like that. You seem like a really nice person. And I just want to also say to you, Professor, like, you are just always so immature, and you always attack me unnecessarily. And it's like, at the end of the day, I could get trafficked anytime, so could any other woman. And that's why I like to speak out about these issues. And I just want to say that. And again, thank you, Mr. Newstoter, for being really nice to me. So thank you.
All right. DJ, go ahead, DJ. You got it. Anybody else that wants to speak as well, too? Feel free to come on up here if you want to speak and add on to this topic as well, too. We are trying to get anybody that wants to come up here and speak before we go ahead and close the space out. So a number of our people up in here. Like I said, again, for those that can, make sure I put up in the Jumbotron. We got the YouTube channel. It's on the far left-hand side. Go ahead. If you have not, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's on the far left-hand side. You can subscribe while the actual space is still going. Please go ahead and subscribe. We're trying to build that YouTube channel up as well, too. Also, like I said, for those that can support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, we are the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. $Newstoter, $Newstoter. If you do not have Cash App, we have the Venmo and PayPal up in the Jumbotron. For those on YouTube, we have all of that in the actual description as well, too. Go ahead, DJ.
Hey, did that trans make a comment to me? Is that what that was?
Yeah, you straight, Professor.
Just real quick for the record, men, if you got a female that you love in your life, better teach her some boxing and some martial arts lessons, because that's what I used to do with my cousins. I used to kick their butt, you know what I'm saying? But they always tell me, thank you for that, cuz, because ain't no nigga ever fuck with me, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no bra was able to defeat me. Yeah, because I used to tell them, if you don't fuck your assaulter up, I'm gonna come fuck them up, and I'm gonna fuck you up afterwards until you be able to beat me. Because at the end of the day, I'll be damned about get a phone call saying something happened to one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So there you go, man.
Alrighty. Like I said, we're trying to see if anybody else wants to come up and speak. Anybody else wants to come up and speak before we close the space out? So I definitely want to see if anybody else has anything else they would like to add to the night's conversation, because we're not gonna keep it open any longer than it has to be. See my man Original coming up here, so let me let Original get it in.
Hey, just real quick too, y'all remember that Mexican chick that took herself, well, it wasn't self-inflicted, but she was filming a snuff video of a kidnapping or whatever, and the person that was holding the gun in her head, the shit went off and killed her instantly. You know what I'm saying? But she was filming hoax videos too, though. So it's like, hey, you know what I mean? Go ahead, Original. Go ahead.
Yeah, peace, Black Power, voice to everybody. Yeah, I just want to say this right here, because y'all remember, I think this was back in the 90s, and you've had numerous situations where white women have staged an abduction. And like what Mr. Zell was saying, I'm in agreement with her, because see, called the Runaway Bride. Y'all remember that one? She claimed she was abducted by some Spanish-speaking man, and then she was hiding somewhere. But I think there's something deeper that's going on, and we are always the one that they want to attack. And like I tell people, get involved if you see, whether they be young or old. Like as I told y'all, this young lady that worked in my department, she was this guy was giving her all kinds of expensive necklaces and stuff. I said, I cut that off, and I told her I don't want her going out with that guy. I said, you can find you somebody, and I saw a picture. I said, oh hell no, not this one. You're not getting this one. Because Atlanta is like the capital of sex trafficking here in America. And so I tell people, do not be afraid to get involved in these young people's lives, because you just might be saving their life. But these white women, they do this stuff all the time. And it's not even, it doesn't faze anyone. And then some people get upset when some of us, when a white woman come up missing, we go, oh, okay, she missing, so what? I said, y'all don't have that same signal when a black woman come up missing. So why the hell should I give a damn about yours? And you look at, because I've seen, I can't think of her name, but it was this black lady, she worked in the media, and she talked about how they were not allowed to mention, the things about black women coming up missing and things happening to black women, because they always want to put it out there as if these no-class white women are supposed to be special. And so I just want to share that, because I think we really need to look at, and like what DJ said, teach these young girls how to fight, because and teach them where to hit to make sure that they can wound anyone that's trying to, whether it be a man or a woman. Go after them damn eyes. Go after the private parts. But mainly, especially if it's a woman, go after them damn eyes. and you want to make sure that they can't see a damn thing so you can get away. Because some people, just like what DJ was saying, some of these people, whether it be male or female, they don't know how to defend themselves. They ain't thinking about coming up like, hell, I go to places sometimes, I have a cane with me. Should I have a cane? And I go to some events. I walk up in that joint with a cane. They say, "Oh, what's wrong with you? Oh, I injured my foot." That cane is my weapon. If I have to come after somebody, that's my weapon. So hell no, yeah, you better believe it. I'm not going up into the joint and just without any kind of weapon, because a cane is legal to carry into a place. And so if you get into an altercation with somebody, you got something to beat the hell out of them with. So y'all might want to think about that. But I'm gonna land with that.
All right. Appreciate that, original. Let me go ahead and get to Professor. Go ahead, Professor.
Yeah, I was going to say, y'all, because it was a story recently. This was, I think, last year, where we had a prison guard, a corrections officer, a jail corrections officer in North Alabama, a female officer. The storyline that when it first came out was that she was kidnapped by the inmate. See, that was the storyline that first came out. Then that storyline evolved into she took the inmate and ran off with him.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yep. And see, that was the storyline that was put out there, that she was kidnapped by this guy who had murdered women. He had murdered 2 women. As a matter of fact, he had murdered his ex-girlfriend, and he murdered another white woman. So this female guard, she had fell in love with this guy. Had been talking to him for 2 years. But they didn't know that at the time that she had been making a connection with this guy. They didn't know that. They found out all of this later on. So, but in the meantime, when the story first came out, it was put out there that she had been kidnapped, and I think that's how she wanted it to be known or seen, because that's the storyline in a way to try to make herself look good. But eventually it came out she took the guy out of the jail and ran off with him, and she wanted to go take him to wherever, to marry him or whatever they were trying to do. I don't know. But I'm just telling y'all, they do this type of stuff all the time. Caucasoids always do this type of stuff, more so than any type of black women. I'm not saying that black women haven't done any fair share of these hoaxes, but white women have done this over a long history of lying and hoaxes, okay? So just gonna put it out there, so if they try to say that, well, we don't want to protect black women, or we don't want to help black women, they go missing because this might be a hoax to us. No, baby, you got history on top of history of white women doing this kind of stuff. So I'm gonna land right there.
All right. Let me go ahead and get to Beth. Dane, I'm gonna get to you. Let me get to Beth. Beth, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey guys, I'm Beth. I'm from Hoover, Alabama, and upon hearing about this story, I have been just mesmerized. Now, what has disturbed me the most is I'm grateful that she was found alive and that she's okay. But who's to say what actually was reported by her phone calls didn't actually happen? I'm just so, I cannot believe people on TikTok and everywhere else just taking what probably happened. I mean, she called the police. I mean, why would, I just don't understand. I mean, I know y'all have said that white people lie, everybody lies, but listen, people are just mean out there, and you have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to do the right thing, and now we're in a situation, should we ever see something like this, we're now scared to try to stop and help. I mean, this really isn't a race thing. It's a it's a human thing, and people are out there, and people are mean, and we just need to love on each other. And that's all. I mean, I was in the space, and then it crashed, and then I went and cooked dinner and came back and saw that it was up. So I do thank you very much for allowing me to say what I say. I'm just so grateful that she's home, and I just think that we just need to give her family space and not speculate on whether or not this was a hoax. Or I can't imagine that someone would be that stupid to get the whole world invested for what. And something else that I wanted to say, that everyone on social media is saying that she had a mental health crisis. No, baby. If she was that insane, or if she was that crazy, they would have held her for 72 hours. That's mandatory. And if her parents really thought she had some kind of mental problem, they could have Baker acted. They could have placed a Baker Act, which means she's 25. So if they thought that she was mentally incompetent, they could have insinuated that she stay in the hospital for a 72-hour watch. But she was released. So I think that we just need to sit back and just quit trying to expect an answer, because really we're not entitled to one. Who says we're entitled? And I'm just grateful that she's back. And I do thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts. I've been invested in this from the jump. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Beth. Let me go ahead and get to Dana. Dana, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah. So for the Carlee Russell situation, I really do think it was a human trafficking incident that took place, and because she got national attention, they said let's drop her ass back off before they blow up our money making business that we had going on, because human trafficking has different faces. It's different for different situations. It's it's not just one thing. So it have many looks to it that we are not even aware of. So I think we do need to just wait for all the information to come out. And I do have a problem with people, calling her the female Jussie Smollett. Was it Juicy Jussie or whatever? But I do have a problem with that. But that's social media. That's what social media do. They want to direct the story, and change the narrative. And even mainstream media does the same thing. But yeah, and even if she did make it up, maybe it is a mental health issue. Because she is a Black woman in this situation, I will be giving her a pass if she did make it up. So she wasn't doing it for political reasons, for a particular political group like Jussie Smollett. If she was not kidnapped, if she did make it up, she's definitely suffering from some type of mental health. That's my theory. But I think we all need to just wait until all the evidence come into play. Another thing, I'm really tired of trans cis. Every time you come up on platforms, whether it's mine or this one or anybody else, you always want to use that victim card. I'm getting really sick of that. You're not a victim. Stop putting yourself in all these different predicaments, because you gaslighting. You are the aggressor. You are the problem when you want to paint yourself as a victim and everybody else as the enemy or somebody coming against you. And I'm saying this to you because of that stunt you pulled on my Twitter space last week, which was uncalled for. So, you're not a victim. If nothing never happened to you, you're not a victim. I don't care what community you want to be a part of. And I'm tired of people from your community using that as a narrative, because that's a false narrative. No, that couldn't happen to you, because what would have happened to you would have looked totally different from that. So I'm just saying in general, I'm tired of you coming up on platforms claiming to be a victim when you are not. Now mute up.
All righty. Let me go ahead and get to Lola. Lola, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hi, Newstoter. Thank you for allowing me to speak in your space tonight. Hello to everyone in this space. I agree with Ms. Dana. We need to wait for all the information to come out. They made it, they wanted us to understand that the pictures that they were showing is not the condition that she was in. It's not how she looked when she went missing. I believe there is an element of mental illness going on, and mental illness has a lot of faces to it. She's highly educated. A lot of her college graduation pictures was going around. But I have personal knowledge of mental illness. Someone very close in my family, college graduate, graduate with honors, and it just came out of nowhere, schizophrenia. And we don't have enough of these conversations about mental illness in the Black family, the Black community, what it looks like, the negative narrative around it, how they try to automatically connect mental illness to violence or crime, and that's also false. We don't know what's going on. And Ms. Beth, with all due respect, I respect your opinion. However, white women go missing all the time. A lot of times we can't even get an Amber Alert. And I believe it made national news because the way she looked, she was clean, she was educated, and that played a part of it going national. As far as we know, she could have been abducted, and they wasn't expecting it to make national news, and maybe they let her loose. You know, a lot of times when they take Black people, they feel nobody cares, nobody's gonna look for them. How many times do Black women go missing and it makes national coverage like that? It's not very often. So she could have been cut loose, anything like that. But I know how mainstream media will play it. If it is an incident where it was something, they'll paint that as the narrative for all missing Black women. They'll use a broad stroke and they'll run it on a loop 24/7 and paint all Black women under that narrative. And every case is different. You have Sherry Papino, the white woman who said 2 Latino women snatched her and she just wanted to go lay up with her side piece. All right. What about the white woman just on TikTok that said that somebody tried to abduct her kids? It was all made up. You got Elizabeth Holmes stole billions, said she had that magic machine. Okay, so it's lots of cases out there. I will always give grace when it comes to us, and like Miss Dana said, I'm going to give her grace. We don't know what was going on. We don't know. So I definitely won't say anything negative about the situation on a public platform, especially in front of white people, because you, Beth, you don't know what it's like to be a mother with a missing child, and most of the time nobody cares about them. Nobody's looking for them. What about all the missing Black women in Missouri? The police got on TV and said, "Oh, there's no serial killer." But you know who boots on the ground was ringing the alarm? The Black people, us. We were on TikTok ringing the alarm. Yes, there's Black women missing, and one escaped. And only when that one escaped, then they wanted to play cleanup. But it was us, mom, pops, people using their platforms. Black women are disappearing down here. And the police, the people that's supposed to protect us, fight for us, look for us, had a news conference and said, oh, that's all made up. It's not true. So a lot of times the police be the ones that's doing it. They be connected. The kids missing in Cleveland. 27 kids went missing in 2 weeks. You cannot tell me that the police aren't involved snatching these babies. Look at the videos that's going viral where the police are harassing the young black boys between a lot, and you notice they're like 7, 8, 9. They're not fucking with teenagers or 16, 8, because they know they'll take off on their ass. But a 7, 8, 9-year-old, they're gonna stop in fear. They're gonna listen to them. And when you're in these low income areas, people are afraid. So a lot of times they're not gonna approach the police. But lately, people been pulling out their camera. You know, thank God. And then they'll leave them alone. But usually what happens, they'll just end up on a missing poster. They kidnap our kids. They kidnap them. They'll end up on a missing poster. The Golden Gate Killer, he got away with it for years. You know why? Because he was a cop. He was a cop. And only when they did reverse DNA testing, they caught him 30 years later. Reverse DNA testing is catching a lot of these killers. A lot of them work in industries that will cause you not to take a second look. A lot of times people have titles and they are able to fly under the radar because they don't look like the boogeyman. The boogeyman don't have a tail and horns. He could be your neighbor. He could be your coworker. Anybody. And that's what we got to, you know, if you see something, if you feel something, say something. The boogeyman don't have a tail and horns. I'm telling you, he has no race, no zip code, no gender. It could be anybody. Look at those 3 girls that they had tied up in that house in Cleveland for 11 years. All those girls went missing from the same area, off the same street. Gina DeJesus, Angela Berry, remember that went viral? The black man pulled that door open and let them girls out. And here, the man who kidnapped those girls was a homeowner, lived right in the neighborhood, had a regular job. But there was things that I saw that would have stuck out to me that I didn't understand why it didn't stick out to nobody else. He had trash bags covering all those windows, all his windows. For me, that would have stood out to me. That would have made me take a second look. But this, I know I'm going. I'm a land real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna give you about 40 seconds to land it, Lola.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just want to say, if you see something, if something don't look right, if it don't feel right, just say something. Say something. I'd rather be wrong, but say something, but then to ignore it and hear later on you find out it was something. And I'll just learn there.
All right, thank you, Lola. Let me go ahead and get to Trans. Go ahead and unmute your mic, and then we're gonna get to Beth, and then we're gonna get ready to close it out for the night in a second, guys. Go ahead, Trans.
Okay. I just wanted to say thanks for letting me talk again in your space, and I also wanted to say Miss Dana, I don't understand why you started with me again with this bit, like start attacking me, and you started saying that I pulled a stunt in your space. How did I pull some stunts? And actually, Judge Joe Brown, he said some really problematic things, without me even being there. So I don't understand why you're putting it all on me, saying that I do stuff, and I'm just like, so yeah, I just like to say that, and I actually thought you were cool, actually, and I've come to realize that I really don't like you. Like, I thought you were cool, but so are you telling me that I should take abuse and just smile about it and just brush it off? Like, yeah, so I just want to say that, and yeah.
But you're a little trollish. I've been in spaces with you. You troll sometimes.
Wait, who's that?
This is Lola.
Okay, everybody stay on your mic. Everybody stay on your mic. Go ahead, Trance, and go ahead, and we can go get to the other speakers because we're gonna be closing it out soon.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to say that, and yeah, I just want to say that, and yeah, I don't understand why you Dana, why you started this whole thing against me, and I was not even talking to you nor about you in the space that you just gave outside that against me, and even called me a bitch like on some comment section, and I was like, wow.
No, I said butch. That's BUTCH. I said butch. I know what I wrote. It's right there. And the fact is that you came up.
Okay, Dana, let Trans finish so we can go ahead and unmute, and then we can go on to. We'll get to you after that, and then Miss Giselle, and that's gonna be it for the night.
Yeah, please, not everybody stay on the mics until this butch gets finished. Thank you.
Okay. But you see exactly, Miss Dana, that's exactly what you were trying to insinuate. You just didn't write explicitly. Yes, I do remember you did say it was BUTCH. Yeah, that's what you literally wrote. But like, you know, I could just what I say is read between the lines or something. So yeah, so I just say that, and yeah, so yeah, so just say that, and yeah, and I think I'm done talking. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Let me go ahead and get to we're gonna get to Dana. We're gonna get to Miss Giselle as well. So Dana, go ahead. And once again, guys, we didn't get anybody to donate to the black platform. So for those that want to donate $1 tonight before the space ends, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Like I say, we didn't get not $1 tonight for the largest black-owned Black American news media curation platform today in America. So if we can get $1 tonight before the end of the actual program, that would be a real blessing. So shout out to everybody who's up in the space as well too. We got almost 50 people in here, so hopefully we can get at least one of our people to support us with at least $1 donation. Newstoter, Newstoter. Newstoter is still the largest black-owned Black American news media curation platform today in America. Newstoter. Go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, and so that's exactly what I'm saying. Stop trying to insinuate or assume what somebody is doing or saying because you make an ass out of yourself. I meant to say butch because you're not a bitch because you have a dick, so you are a butch. So I know what I'm saying. I wasn't insinuating nothing. I'm straightforward with what I type and what I say. Number two, when you came space, you were accusing Judge Joe Brown of saying something allegedly against you or your kind, but you never said what he said. You gotta stop accusing people of so-called attacking your ass, and you could never repeat what that person said that was such an insult. You never stated the so-called insult that he said about you or your kind. And that's what I'm saying. You playing that victim. That is trolling. So if you cannot articulate what somebody said accurately, then you need to shut the hell up and stay out of that space. And if he did say something that he disagreed with or that he don't subscribe to, that is his prerogative and his right. You can't sue him from that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't break the law. If a person have a problem with a certain lifestyle, then that's their prerogative. As long as they're not harming you directly or prohibiting you for living your life, whether it's work or, you know what I'm saying, being harmed on the street or prohibiting you for health insurance or your basic civil liberties. But people are entitled to how they feel and their own opinion, just like you are entitled to how you feel in your opinion. But what you are not allowed to do is sit up here and throw false accusations, and you can't even accurately back it up with what somebody allegedly has said. So again, I meant to say butch because you got a dick and not a pussy, because a bitch is for a female.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, we get the point, y'all. We get the point. So we're gonna move forward. Let me go ahead and get to Miss Giselle. Let me give a shout out to Thias, and let me give a shout out to Nate, aka Dusty Pookie, on YouTube as well, too, guys. So let me go ahead and give a shout out to you two. Appreciate it. Let me go ahead and get to Miss Giselle, and then we're gonna be closing this thing out because we don't want it to take that turn. So let me go ahead, Miss Giselle, and go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you so much, Newstoter. And I'm sorry that people come in and derail a conversation that's centered on Black American women. I think that's very disrespectful and it's self-centered, and it shows how disconnected some people are. But anyway, going to the point with
But anyway, I have permission.
oh, not you, Dana. I'm not talking about you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me be quiet.
But I wasn't even talking about you. This was the whole I don't like how some people come in and just derail the conversation. But what I was saying is, with this situation that's going on right now, people have to understand we are already an unprotected class for a reason. This is part of the elimination process. They want us out of here. And that's the part that I think, even when we have these conversations, we got to center it around that logic. And then it wouldn't be so surprising the things that's going on. Like I said before, I really believe that they're doing a lot of these things because they are they're trying to cover up a lot of the misses. Like they said, what was happening with all of the kids up in Ohio, they are directly targeting our youth. Here in Baltimore, they just passed the law talking about you can't search a child or question a child if they're under 18 years old, right? But they passed that law, but then they turned around and said we can't honor it. It's too many, too many things going on. These kids are going wild. We're gonna have to take them even if they're under 18 without their parents knowing. So this is the rule that they just approved. The problem with it, and then to solidify that rule, what happened was they turned around and to solidify this rule, it was a recent shooting that didn't even make sense in Baltimore. 30 people were shot. I'm about to go through it, so if I get cut off, let me know. But 30 people got shot up at a party. And they're riding, this is the shootout for the summer. And nobody even understand why that shootout even happened. And people that was there. And this is what they did.
You breaking up, Miss Giselle? You breaking up? You breaking up, Miss Giselle?
Okay, damn it. All right, I'm gonna shut up. Yeah, I'm gonna y'all go ahead and just put it up.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but you was breaking up there, sister. Let me give a shout out to Harold real quick. Harold, thank you for your contribution on Cash App. Shepard, I see you came in here late. You want to say something real quick because we're gonna be shutting it down. So if you want to say something, let me know. If you're good, that's good because we'll be back tomorrow night anyway. So you got something to say, go and get it in. If not, then we're gonna close it out. We not. Go ahead, Shepard. I'll let you get it in real quick.
Yeah, Carlee Russell, man. What did y'all think that happened to her?
At this point, we don't know. We just, everybody's been having a different of opinions in here, but at this point, we don't know. We're pretty much just trying to wait and see. But I just, like I said, the thing that really kind of, was kind of head scratch for me was like the 3-4-year-old child out there on the highway. So I just thought that was, pretty unusual. But at this point in time, we were not only were we talking about her, but we're talking about the entire epidemic of missing Black women going on in this country as well, too. So it wasn't just
Facts.
yeah. So I wanted to shed some light on that.
So, definitely human trafficking is my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of setups, things they do to people, car locks, things money they drop, and they have like a drug coating the money. So once it touches your skin, you feel faint. They have a lot of different types of setups in the community where when they're targeting people, they use these different traps. And the kid trap sounds like one of them type of setups. There's a problem with reporting missing people in America when it comes to us. And it's the lag time, like, they got to be missing 72 hours, they got to be missing a certain amount of time. And then you have cops that conveniently catch blue flu when it's time to search for a Black person.
There's a disparity in media coverage, a certain amount of words that they use in the columns when they talk about things that happen in the black community. It's very cookie cutter. There's a disparity in black reporters who are allowed to actually have emotions on camera and convey those emotions to the black people that are listening to rally and motivate them. It used to be when we had black newspapers, you could read and catch a vibe of what the black writer was saying and mobilizing your communities to do things. Now everything is so, all the media companies are all owned by the same companies. They don't let black reporters, even if they wanted to, really scream to us like, yo, get on this. This is serious. Also, I remember that case, it just happened. I'm not sure if it was Ohio, where the community told the police, they said, listen, there's a serial killer in our neighborhood. And I think Vicky Dilla covered this. Somebody else covered it. And the police said, no, this is a hoax. They actually went and made a press conference saying, no, this is a hoax. Ain't nobody getting abducted in this black community. These are lies. And then one of the girls escaped. And I don't think that police department got broken down. Nothing happened. There was no consequences for them lying about these black girls being abducted. So there's a pattern to this thing. The immigrants in the police station getting raped, the women getting raped. I know they're not black, but I'm just saying, like, there's a pattern to serial abusing women, period. And when it comes to black women, we like the lowest. Our sisters are like the lowest on the totem pole when it comes to almost every metric that there is. I'll land with this. It doesn't have to do with abduction, but it has to do with medical apartheid. There's an AI program now that deals in the medical community that everybody should download if they have symptoms of especially black women, and they want a second opinion, and they want to take pictures of whatever the symptomatic thing is on their body and can feed it to this AI. I was just listening to a program, and they said, okay, it's 1.7 million misdiagnoses of patients in the medical industry in the United States. And of that 1.7 misdiagnosed patients, well, guess how many is black? A great majority. And a lot of black people don't get second opinions. And this deals with black maternal health. So not only do you have a missing problem of actual abduction, you have a mission of women who are dying just for medical care and misdiagnoses. So that's just another component to how they're at war with black women as well. So I'll land with that. That's peace on that.
All right. Thank you, Shepard. Thank you. Like I say, let me give a shout out to Thias, Nat, and Patricia. Thank you guys tonight for your contributions. Let me also give a shout out to all of the co-hosts and the speakers and the listeners as well too. Thank you guys for coming out to a very important space. However you feel about the situation with Carlee Russell, and that's still a developing story, we know one thing is for certain, that there's a large number of black women, black girls in this country that, like Shepard just mentioned, you got the human trafficking, and that's missing, abduction, and everything else. And it's just not even an black American issue as well too. Like Ross said earlier, it's something globally impacting black women all throughout the globe as well too. So for all the women up in the space, you guys make sure you be safe and you be careful about how you go out there, and make sure that you guys definitely have whether your protection available at hand. Like DJ was saying, it's great to in terms of self-defense, but even in terms of self-defense, have something greater than that as well, to have the equalizer within your arm's reach as well too. So on that note, guys, DJ Professor, y'all want to say something real quick? We're gonna shut it down for the night really quick, guys, and we're gonna get up out of here.
Always remember, the number one equalizer is being able to think on your feet. So when a situation arises, stay calm. You know what I'm saying? Peace, everybody.
Yeah, great space tonight, y'all. And this is a topic that we got to continue on speaking with our young women about, our daughters, our mothers, anybody that's close to you. We need to share what we know, our knowledge on how they can protect themselves. And I say this with much love to all the ladies in this space. Make sure you have something on you. Guns, mace, pepper pepper spray and learn some self-defense tactics. All of this is important for your protection out here, because you're not always going to have a man there to stand there to protect. And most of you ladies know that anyway. But I just want to make sure that the sisters in this space understand that as a black man, I'm all about making sure that the sisters are safe out here and that they understand what they need to do to be safe out here. And if a transformer don't like that, well, the hell with that transformer. And that's good night, everybody.
You want to say something, DJ? Yeah, real quick.
Yeah, don't forget Queen Latifah got the TV show The Equalizer, Jersey in the building. There you go.
All right, guys. We will be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, make sure you go ahead and get those notifications and you retweet it out. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Everybody have a good one. Peace. Be safe out there.
Adios.